Today we're going to look at using the foam roller in its preparation before exercise. The main advantages of the foam roller is that it helps to reduce the density of the muscle, it increases blood flow, and it's also very good at working out muscle fibre knots, okay, which can restrict movement and cause injury. The foam roller itself comes in many different forms. You can get these big long ones, and generally you can get smaller ones that you can carry in your own kit bag. What we have today is just your standard foam roller, and we're going to show you how to do the exercises. The first exercise that we're going to do is we're going to show you how to foam roll the calf muscle. Okay, the calf muscle is notorious for getting tight, especially in pre-season when we're doing an awful lot of running and heavy ground and so forth. To start off, we take the foam roller, we place it in the middle of the calf muscle. We now lift ourselves off the ground. Okay, and we can cross the other leg over to add more pressure onto it. Start from the middle of the calf muscle and roll the whole way up to the back of the knee, and then roll slowly down towards the Achilles. For warming up, do about 15 to 20 rolls on each leg. Change over and do it like that. Okay? The foam roller can also be used for recovery sessions. It's a fantastic piece of equipment for helping to work out muscle knots, and it's also known in the industry as the poor man's massage tool. If I was to do this as part of a recovery session at home in my own time, I would go a lot slower, and I would look for the very sore point. So this is where my muscle fibers have crisscrossed. If you think about a rope that has a knot in the middle, no matter how much you stretch it, that knot is always just going to get tighter and it'll always be there. So what we do is we try to find where the fibers have crisscrossed, we find the centre of it, and we just sit on it for anywhere from 30 seconds to 1 minute to 2 minutes. Okay? The second exercise we're going to do is we're going to work up the outside part of the calf muscle. So, we place it again on the middle of the leg and just roll. Again, taking it through the full range from the ankle up to the outside of the knee. People who maybe have some problems with shin splints can also do the front of the leg, where they're basically massaging the muscles that run up the front of the shins. The next part we're going to do is the quads. The quads are notorious for being tight in footballers. It's one of the prime muscles that we tend to use. When your quads get quite tight, it can pull on your hamstrings because it causes an imbalance of strength. Also, it can start pulling on your kneecap. So sometimes if you get pain around your kneecap, it can be because your quads are quite tight and it's pulling it up. So what we do is we come onto the foam roller and we just roll again from the top of the knee into the waist. If I want to increase more pressure, I take one leg off and I just roll one leg at a time. Again, for recovery purposes, I will take it slower, working through the muscle and trying to find a sore point and then just sitting on that. The next part we're going to do is what we call the IT band. The IT band is connected to a small bone on the outside of the knee and it runs into your hip. This is notorious for being very tight in people. Anybody that does a lot of aerobic running, a lot of aerobic exercise and so forth, this band tends to get very tight. Again, it also has been related to a lot of muscle pain and knee pain around the outside of the knee because the tightness will tend to pull from there. To do that, I start on the middle part and I take my top leg and step it over, and I roll up and down into the hip, the whole way down to the outside of the knee. If I want to add more pressure, I can put the other leg on and go. Okay. Don't be put off by the pain that you might experience from doing this. It will get easier the more you do it, but it should also give you an idea of how tight you are in these areas and how this is restricting you from moving efficiently around the pitch. Okay? The next one we're going to do is we're going to do the inside of the leg, which is called the adductor muscles. And for this, I'm going to turn the foam roller at an angle. I'm going to come down on one side, lift my leg up, and roll it in and out. Okay? Take it right into the groin area and roll it the whole way out to the outside, inside of the knee. And take it like that. Okay? The glutes, or the backside muscle. So what we do is we just sit on this and we just roll up and down. And then cross my leg and roll into the outside of it. And that's working the glute medius. Okay, taking it right up into the waist and the whole way down. Okay. You can do the hamstrings on it simply by, again, placing the leg on top and rolling it up and down. Cross some on it, some pressure onto it, and just roll up and down. So that's all the main exercises that you can use for the lower limbs. Again, it's a fantastic piece of equipment that you can use anywhere to get yourself properly, get your muscles properly prepared before you actually go and do your more dynamic warm-up. The other huge advantage is that it's something that you should be using at home to help your muscles recover and also to work out those muscle knots